in the
I used to
back.
work with it.
On the back patio drinking beer while
No.
that back there.
Before the bank.
You know the trail that we need to get all that, and then sit back there drinking beer, and it's like sick. Lesson there.
I'm doing all my mama laid out for me. See, I made sure she did.
What I tell everybody.
She told me.
She always does.
Used to be married to me Pearl, right? Left Pearl, like that. Remember me and Pearl always like that?
Yeah.
Long, she got in the yard.
You're just not right.
I'm froze.
You're not right. I'm getting sad. Your wife's Your wife. That's hysterical.
I'm sitting here across the table.
I was done. Only Michael and Jess, I don't know. But I'm like you, I don't want to ride behind me. We're taking off.
Do we all rise?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're gonna do roll call. Tom.
Here.
Eileen. Here. April.
Here.
Max.
Here.
Sherry. Justin.
Here.
Tony.
I need a motion to approve payments of bills, $508,873.80, and transfers of $8,000 electrical bond funds.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
Eileen.
Yes.
April.
Yes.
Max.
Yes.
Sherry. Justin.
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
Approval of minutes, June 6, 2022, regular and executive session minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the
I'll second it.
June sixth.
I'll second
Eileen.
Yes.
April.
it. Yes.
Max.
Yes.
Sherry. Justin.
Yes.
Tony.
Approval of June 22 clerk's report and May 22 treasurer's report.
I'll make it. I'll second.
Eileen.
Yes.
April.
Yes.
Max.
Yes.
Sherry. Justin.
Yes.
Tony.
Okay, it's time for public comment. There's Pat.
Sorry.
Does anybody have anything to say for public comment?
I do.
Richard? You got 5 minutes, Richard.
I hope they won't take that long. I know I'm a very good public speaker. I do have a couple of pictures here. Just concerns about some drainage problems. I know we have throughout the town and everything. Does anybody have any idea where the new parking lot for the truck stop is being drained to?
Retention ponds.
What, Michael, what was
The
it?
retention ponds. The existing retention ponds, there's gonna be another one for different.
So they're going, no,
North?
Okay, because the other day when it rained, I think everybody got pictures, I know Tony did, Max, anyway, we were underwater until after 6 o'clock that evening, I don't have the time for it, okay?
This is across from Scott's.
And a lot of the issue is, when we get rain that fast, so it come fast, Evapco actually has a detention pond, is it detention or retention? Retention pond in the ditch there that runs north and south, that dumps into that. Well, when that comes so fast, where it empties into that ditch, the north end is cleaner than the south end. So it actually, that ditch runs backwards toward the subdivision, and it fills us up, and then it seeps away through the other way. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
I mean, I do have some pictures, and don't, just understand, I didn't pass photography class. How do you wanna do this?
I saw it.
Well, this is.
You're gonna
this
stand
is-
up on the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a picture of the ditch. The picture that I give to Max was, the top picture, I guess give everybody not just Max, but anyway, that's standing on the York Road, looking to the north. That's the ditch there that crosses the York Road, from the subdivision. And, in the back picture is what I was talking about halfway down, you can see where it's, a little more grown up. That's where the retention pond gets into the, right here, and this is the ditch, and then it runs this way to the north before it runs south. So if we're getting rain from or runoff from across the road, if I was over on Dave Cuts, and, the culvert running underneath Route 40, I mean, it was, that whole area there, that grass area there, I mean, it was full. You know, so, I mean, we're getting a lot of water, and it's not leaving the subdivision lands.
Who owns this picture?
Well, the city does.
The city does, but then the county wants to do things across the road, across your road, so. We can only do so much.
But it needs to be, the city maintains it from the subdivision to your road, is that correct?
So, there's so many feet just off of your road that we don't, yes. I was told the last time something.
This is from the subdivision, that's from the York Road. I got it.
Who was that?
County.
Yeah, Ben Blake did.
Ben Bland,
You got a new engineer.
Ben Bland actually come and clean that ditch out for the village. 7, 8 years ago.
Yeah, at least 8 years.
And time gets away from me, so I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm not blaming anybody, we're just asking, you know, we have a problem, so. The amount of rain we got the other day, I had 1 inch and 7 tenths of rain on Thursday, and then we got 2 and 8 tenths in Friday morning. That was not enough to do what that does to us out there, at all.
Well, let us get with the county engineer, and we'll talk to him and see what he can do.
And the other issue with that creates then, see our road continues to break up.
Right.
Right.
And it's because of the drainage, because there's always water underneath that concrete, and you bump off of one hole into another, you just making it, you guys know how it works, slosh, you know, and it breaks up.
My concrete's really thin.
When that subdivision was built, it should have had ditches to put in,
But,
really,
Drainage pond.
drainage style, but it didn't.
Concrete should have been thicker.
Yes,
There's places,
there's
I
places,
like that.
but the village took it over, so I mean.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, you're correct.
But there's only been one spot worked on the whole time, right on the curve, is that correct?
And that's been 8 years ago, probably. Yeah,
Well, Steve Buchanan was still living there, so.
yeah.
I mean, before that, I don't process that, so.
But Michael, was the whole east end flooded too, but everything was
Yeah,
flooded.
somebody said, mentioned down there, they don't have all the curbing done, from one of some of that stuff didn't run off and run south, that's not supposed to be running south, and that could have flooded a lot of that, you see. I mean, that area out there north between 40 and our water machine was, looked like a pond.
It did, yeah, it did. I mean, Dave Cutts told me, I was over talking to him, and that ditch between, his office and storage building to the, new parking lot at the truck stop,
Richard.
Thank you.
I think we
Oh,
got.
can I say one thing? I'm not speaking for the whole subdivision, okay? These are my thoughts, okay?
Thank you.
Does anybody else want to say anything? Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I'm Don Allison, and I live at the other end of the street, Richard, and I just wanna kind of reiterate the same thing.
Right.
That, you know, I'm the last one, all at the far end, so I'm the one, I'm still driving through water down there, because it's still backed up.
Right.
But, and it just goes till it evaporates, you know, and the road's all tore up, what she said, but we've never had, we've had more rain, you know, since I've been down here, and I've only been down here since 18, but this was the most rain that covered the whole street. I mean, it was up to my expeditions running
Right.
the whole way.
Well, I drove through.
And I even got video on my phone and that, cause I'm like,
I
I've
drove
never
out there
seen
and I
it this
wasn't even
bad.
gonna drive through it, 'cause my little car would have sucked right up.
And now it's getting to where you can walk on a lot of the concrete,
Yeah.
and it's just doing this, cause it's all getting underwashed, and now it's all mud, you know, so yeah, if we can address whatever the issue is out there, get whoever the appropriate people, and
But we'll
if they
see.
got clean ditches, or whatever they gotta do.
We'll
try
speak
and
to the county
alleviate
engineer
that.
and see if he can
Yeah,
help us on
'cause
it.
it's a mess, you
Yes.
know, so.
Why do you think things, lose weight and all that, where all that dish go?
We mow it about once a year, we're gonna do some more maintenance and never got around to it.
Which
I
I
know
talked-
that thing trimmed it, I get it.
I talked to a Lance,
Yeah,
a while back, and we had talked about, cause there's like cattails between mine
Yeah.
and the neighbor there, and he was gonna wait till it kinda stiffened up on, because it'd tear the yards up, because, you know, the ground out there, everybody knows, it's just salt, you know, so, you know, they're more than happy to come through my yard, and I still battle a little bit coming from the berm. It comes down off the berm, and then it
So you're at the very
I kinda
end.
got
You're
a
at the
moat
very
going
end.
around me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the very end one, so I kinda get a moat around me a little bit, and that, but that's another issue that I gotta take up with them, but yeah, that's all I've got, I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we could get in there and out and just.
Oh, go ahead, sir.
I live on Prairie View also. I'm just recently up here about 4 years ago. I live in the first house where Buchanan's live.
What is your name, sir?
Sowers, John Sowers.
Okay.
And, I don't have to drive down the street like my neighbor here does. But the water was so high that, you couldn't even get to my mailbox. In fact, I think.
We were out in the front yard whenever I tried to come through, and I wouldn't go past your house.
That was you,
That
yeah.
was me,
Yes,
yes.
yeah, I was out there. But there is an issue there, and it, you know, there's just 4 houses there. But I think it could be helped. I'm just not an engineer, I can't tell what to do. But there is an issue that I'm sure you guys will figure out and make a recommendation. We'd sure appreciate it. And these guys that lives down on the end of the street, that street's terrible. Like I said, I live first house, but, the red mulch from around our flower beds was halfway to the garage, up the driveway from down to the mailbox. We just put it out, there's no red mulch there. I think somebody might have come in today and done some sweeping of the streets, actually trying to clean.
It was all on the street.
It was
I
all
seen
out in the
up
street and up my driveway and in the yard. But anyway, it was something, I took some pictures of it also. And like I said, I think I've lived here since July of 18, and this was, definitely the worst it was by a long shot. And it shouldn't have been that way. We did get a lot of rain, don't get me wrong, but we've seen more.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We definitely need to get on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
After it dries out.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, we're gonna move on. Greenup EMS personnel inquiring about the future of Greenup ambulance service. Patty, you want to speak, or got somebody else want to speak?
I got 3 of them.
I think all-
Okay.
I think all three of us had the same question. We're all just concerned where the ambulance service is going. I mean, I work a full-time job, and I feel like I'm working a second full-time job trying to cover the ambulance with Patty in the daytime, because she doesn't have any help. And I don't know, I can see 3 of you right here that was on the ambulance service for years. And I would have thought we would have been proactive and figured something out before now, knowing that, you know, Patty's been talking about retiring anyway. I mean, I don't know what the answer is. I don't believe trying to turn it over to the county is our answer. I mean, you can see that Toledo's done that, and they're still struggling just as bad, if not worse than we are.
Yeah, I think they're worse.
But, I mean, one other person, one other medic in the daytime, whether you hired them as a custodian slash paramedic to help Patty get stuff done, or, you know, or send somebody to school from down over the hill that could be available during the day, just something to cover that daytime hours. Like I said, I don't know what the answer is, but,
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean,
It's hurt everywhere else, but I think they're shutting down Gator, aren't they?
yeah. The problem we've got into is, you know, we get paid little, and you can get a paramedic license and go work for Mitchell Jordan for $75,000 a year. You know, I got a call today to see if I wanted to go work at Robinson, you know, and they're offering me $1,500 a week to work down there, so.
I think our biggest issue is trying to keep an ALS ambulance, which
We can't even keep a basic.
I don't, but, you know, there's been talk about, you know, getting volunteers to go to EMT school.
We've got that class.
Yeah, but everybody's struggling for paramedics, because like, you know, Charleston's over, Charleston, Sullivan, they've lowered their requirements to be a paramedic, and they just go to the basic. You know, I mean, everybody's in the same boat. The EMH, the reason they got out is, it wasn't profitable for them, you know, and at the hospital.
It's not gonna be profitable.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, well, with the wages going through the roof like they have. I mean, I know a man that's driving from Sullivan down to Albany right now that's, you know, making in the 80s.
Yeah.
Isn't Lakeside struggling too? Is Lakeside,
I don't know.
Well, how much they really actually
Lakeside's
take
real
though,
high.
they're kind of just a transport service, they don't get 911 calls very often.
My question is, do we not care to keep an ambulance service? I mean, the police department, the police department's not profitable,
but
but we have to hire police officers to keep it going.
And I'm thankful.
I mean,
Yeah.
very thankful.
I'm thankful you
You know, the utility department's not profitable, but we have to have them around. I would think the ambulance service would be something we would have to have around as well. You
And I
know,
don't even think it's a matter of profitable, I think it's a matter of we're gonna lose a lot of money. I mean, it's just gotten to where it's so,
we need one medic to work with
Yes.
her.
yeah.
And, you know, I know you're talking $40,000 a year plus, but put them to work doing other things too. I mean, there's lots of things that,
Michael, what do you think of Decatur's closing? It's a big city, you know, they can't afford it.
I feel we should attempt
Yes.
for doing that.
Yeah, Tony's brought this up time after time with this board every month. And not every month, but brought up several times, but
Now we're getting into real problems.
Right.
Because August is coming and I'm not gonna be around. And I was on call all day and all night last night, and I had to roll a run over to Toledo because there was nobody to go with me.
and that
And
patient
what
wound up
happened
going
then?
to Carl. And since Toledo had to come take our run, Neoga had a second call with an elderly man that fell down a 12-foot hill. And they had to wait on Neoga to get back from the hospital to take that patient because Toledo's their backup as well. And they were out taking one for us just because we didn't have an extra person to cover.
Michael, do you know of any paramedics that would want to work in a full-time capacity at Greenup? I think one of the problems is finding a person that even wants to work here, wants to live here, do that sort of thing.
And what's the staff?
I would say that if you put it out there, you would have somebody. I can't say who, but, you know.
Because I know when Tony's brought it up in the past, the issue has been, there's never been a solution. It's been, we don't think we can get somebody to come for less than, the 80,000, 75,000, 80,000 that you're talking about. And we didn't know, even if we did that, if we would have the volunteers stick around after we hired somebody for 75, 80,000.
Yeah.
And then, pretty soon.
Well,
how do we
I think you
continue?
need to look
I
at
don't
it
think
just to
that's
put
volunteer.
feelers out. I mean, I'm not gonna leave. I mean, I do have another full-time job, and I still covered almost 40-some hours there 2 weeks ago. More than what I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to be at home with my own kids that are little and enjoy them. I mean, we ran 330-some ambulance calls already this year. That's not saying that's how many patients we've taken. That's 330 calls. We had 4 patients the other day on one scene. That all was transported. That's all paying customers. I understand we're not gonna get rich from it. We're not trying to get rich, but it maintains itself. It has throughout the years. I mean, we've always paid for the ambulances when you come in. And I think if you offer the benefits like you give your village employees, they might work for less, because them places that are working for $70,000, $80,000 a year don't have the benefits. I mean, they're not getting insurance. They might have to find it out somewhere else. I mean,
Do you
but-
think if we threw out, started 40,000, we might get a?
I'd start, see what you get for feelers, if you get any interest in it. I
So we
mean,
need a paramedic.
We can start with a basic.
And
Okay.
send them.
We can do a basic, and I have, Hunter Scales promised me he'd go to class. It's coming up in August, and we've got this class, it's not official yet, but it's gonna be here in Greenup. And you've gotta have 10 in this class to go. And Hunter has said, yeah, he would go. But then we're gonna run into problems where,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, hey, Michael, I don't have anybody on call with me today, can I pull Hunter? Well, then it's gonna put him in a crunch too.
And today Hunter's in a situation, he's covered in mud.
But if you could start out with a basic, if we can start with a basic, I mean, I'm not going anywhere probably for another year, maybe a year.
If you're leaving in August, so we don't need a medic.
okay, so you're gonna do that medic, I'd start for the medic, look for it. Or even an eye or basic, just to give Patty some help though. I mean, she covers every hour that's not covered anyways, and I don't understand how she covers it anyways.
I've got a wonderful
I don't know how she does
question
it either.
Justin brought up though. If we bring in a medic, say from Effingham, that wants to come over supplement his income for 40,000 a year, how many of our paramedics are gonna say, well, we're gonna give him 40,000 a year?
None.
I want 40,000.
My job's too
In
full
fact,
right
most of the
now.
medics are in this room.
You're looking at the medic.
You're looking at.
You're looking at the medics.
And we want you to find somebody or get somebody, because I can't cover those hours. I work full-time already. But I'm willing to possibly stay for working the shifts that I have. But I can't cover all of that and still work my other 2 jobs I have.
Mine is Jen Phipps, who's a basic, and Annie Rowe, who's an intermediate. You're looking at the ambulance department right now.
Yeah.
That's
And that's it.
Like this, I think it's time to advertise it, right?
Yes.
We don't, I don't wanna lose our ambulance.
No, we need our ambulance. We do.
So, simple
And
fact
that's-
is, I think it's time to advertise it.
Yeah.
And then that position.
But here's the thing, if we advertise back for 40,000,
Yeah.
it's only gonna be fair that we put Patty the same. Because, I mean, we could hire somebody in here and not.
She's overpaid now.
I agree, Michael, she's just waiting.
Love you, Patty.
Michael, you need a second?
She would like to be
Well,
with you
they've
after
always
that.
said I make too much money,
You
so
got
Michael,
people,
come on.
they can throw at it.
I mean, we gotta be fair to everybody, and,
I'm really not worried about that. All I'm worried about is I spent 40 years of my life building an ambulance
Yes.
service. And these people here and me, we worked our asses off, making it go, and it's going. But times change, there's circumstances that we have no control over that has crapped on us. And so all we want to do is to be able to leave an ambulance service for our grandkids, you know, and your
You're not-
grandkids.
You're not alone in that, because like you said, there's three of us sitting here.
That's right.
But our blood, sweat, and tears in too.
That's right, and you guys should be the ones that are really pushing for help. It should not have went this long. A year
Just
ago,
hard to-
I came to you guys and told you guys that what was coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
And I felt like I gave you guys time. I'm giving you more time. I'm not going anywhere for a while. I'm gonna be here to help you.
We appreciate that.
Yes.
I know, thank you very much, Sherry. So let's do something now.
Yes.
But we're in dire straits right now because, in the last month, we had 100 hours that was not covered. 100 hours that was not covered. We rolled over 3 runs with Toledo. Casey, we were trying to get a crew together. I said, you know, do you have a basic or something that we can go on this? So Casey wound up taking their own run because we couldn't go.
I'll make a motion.
We can,
Yeah, so the agenda.
but
we
she
can
can,
talk about
she can run
it.
it.
You can run an ad,
Yeah. Yeah, we just can't make a motion.
but we don't wanna lose our ambulance, so
No,
that's the bottom
no.
line.
So maybe she get, Patty come up with it.
Perfect.
Okay, Michael, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank all of you.
Yes, thank you all for your service.
I'm thankful that Patty stayed around as long as she has,
Yes.
because, you know, I worried about my dad for the last few years about him needing an ambulance.
Right.
And guess who wound up needing it? It wasn't Dad. It was me. So, you know.
I did it a few times too, so I'm
That's
just
right.
saying.
I have to say, I'm
I don't
thankful
think
that
there's
she was
anybody
here.
on this board but maybe Kay, but I haven't called you guys, your grandparents.
You called me a couple times.
Yeah.
Jill's having a hard
No parent,
No, but I called your mom and your dad.
Well,
Yes, I
that's what
did.
she said, yeah, there you go.
So like I said, I'm with these guys, you know, it's important that we
Yes.
keep our ambulance and takes everybody to work together.
Well, we'll run an ad, see what we come up
That's
with.
what started back in 1981, we did it, so we have an ambulance.
And you know what, that board then was willing to take a risk on us, and I think we need to. Hey, Pearl Harris,
No, she's giving me trouble.
I said, shut up, man, I'm just messing with you. That's why I get to sit next to her. 'cause I-
Okay, again, thank you,
I'm
folks,
sorry.
for everything.
Yes, and thank you, Patty.
Okay, consideration of a motion to approve IMEA electric efficiency incentive grant up to $2,772 to the Southern Baptist Church. This is no brainer. We need a vote from the board to get this money.
If we don't spend the money, we're gonna lose money.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
It's a no brainer.
We already had it set in IMEA.
I'll make
Yeah.
a motion. I'll second it.
Colleen?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Max?
Abstain.
Sherry?
Yes, sorry.
Justin?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, review and consideration regarding the purchase of new financial suit, programming from G-Works in the amount of $22,450 first year, and then annually $11,450. Jill, you wanna respond on this?
Okay, so in 2017, the village of Greenup, we did purchase a software, program that was for financial accounting. It dealt with the financials,
payroll, and it even did utility billing. Since we implemented that and just getting it started, Kay and I had to manually put in, it was nothing that they could just transfer over easily. We had to do it, we had to go through the training. We didn't get a whole lot of training, we had to create our own checklist on how to learn how to, and, that was from the very beginning. Since then, we've constantly had issues with certain things in the program. Figures just somehow change. Kay has to go in and rework things from month to month to see where those figures are changing. We call support, they cannot tell us, and you're usually not willing to help us even look to see why they're changing, okay? I made you guys a list, like I said, monthly balances change from the end of the month to the next, a lot of times, not rolling over properly. Sometimes postings are not posted properly. When we call them and we tell them that it didn't post, they're always quick to tell us that we did something wrong. In October, every year since 2017, when Kay has went to reconcile, there's been a problem, and she has to go clear back to May and start all over, reconciling it, trying to find the issue. Every October. We don't know why. Why is it October? They don't know. They're not willing to look for it. They're not willing to help us even fix the problem, to help Kay fix it. We've had some payroll glitches. Those are easy to take care of, but it causes extra work when it does glitches like that. I mean, you have to check things 2 and 3 times where it should be automatic. You take a review of something and it should be there. It should be correct.
The replacement program, do they come with a good referral from somebody? Or?
So what happens, so the replacement program that we're looking at is this program that we have implemented, working with right now. They also had a utility billing system. We have been sitting on that utility billing system and not did anything with it just because of all the problems that we've been having. Well, then we learned that the utility billing, the one that we are using, which is Simple City Assist, G-Works, they implemented this new financial suite of stuff. And come January, they are going to be live. It's going to be cloud-based. And there's going to be so much more that we're going to be able to do with it. You're going to be able to go in and make your payments on the internet. You're going to be able to review your bills. You're not, you're going to be able to help yourselves. Just so much that they are adding to it. Did I answer your question?
Not really.
No, Simple City. Because we don't have any issues. We have no issues with the utility billing side that we have with
used
them.
another program.
Yes.
So
And we
that's,
still are.
right.
We're still using G-Works for utility billing.
We haven't turned it over.
Assist.
The only reason I'm asking is because I'm sure that this other company probably said, you're gonna love this software, you're not gonna have any problems, we'll help you anytime there's problems.
Oh, well,
And I just wanted to know if there was any, if you got this from another municipality who was using it, or if it was.
There is another municipality and it is down south. What is it, Florida or something like that?
You talked to them, and
Uh-huh.
they're pretty happy with it.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
they actually went to Assist about the same time we did, and she went through 4 treasurers in 4 months, because they said, we're not
We don't
dealing
do
with
that.
this. No.
because they couldn't figure out because they have the same problems. But, Kay did speak with them today, and, they claim that this will work with the new remote system that we've got coming, and,
I spoke to them today, and I also talked to Honeywell, where we're doing, and, Assist is so good to work with when, or not Assist, I'm sorry, G-Works is so good to work with when you're implementing on something like this, because they work they keep me out of it, and they actually work with those people and figure out the glitches before we're even introduced to it.
And when you've had problems with G-Works, the system that you've been using,
Yes.
them, their service has been pretty good.
Oh, yeah, we usually get a phone call back in
Yes.
anywhere from half an hour to.
We hear back from them, where the other people, it could be a day to 2 days before we hear back from them.
Even if it's an emergency.
And, even the auditors, and I had, Kay had reached out to Tammy Knight, but she was on vacation and unable to attend tonight, but they would even tell you that they dislike, what we have right now as far as the financials, because they can't make heads or tails, and we cannot produce reports that they would like to see.
So a lot of times we're doing it all by hand, trying to figure it out.
How much are we paying this company a year right now?
The company that we're working with right now.
Yeah.
So, every year you have to pay an annual maintenance, and right now, it's, in March, it looks like I paid $4,029.68. Yes, for that, but you're gonna get so much more with the other, because of it being, going to be cloud-based, and everybody's gonna be able to access it. Credit cards are gonna be able to just be paid online instead of calling us to make credit card payments, and things like that, so much more.
So down here at the end, you've got, it's gonna take place with the new year, is that calendar year or?
That was calendar year. I asked them if that would be possible, because starting with anything else would be fine, but starting payroll in the middle of the year is always a nightmare.
We don't have any long-term contract with this older.
No, we don't. You just have to give them so many, days and let them know.
I think I would be in favor of making a motion to approve, the purchase of the G-Works Financial Suite programming in the amount of $22,450 the first year, with an annual continuation of $11,450.
Give me a second, everybody. They also will do all of the work of putting everything in for us.
They will
Transfer everything over for us.
At no additional cost?
No additional cost.
So then we'll be done with this,
Yes.
We'll be done
Yes,
from
ma'am.
January.
From January.
What about for historical data?
Yeah, we'll have to.
You'll have to keep it.
You have to keep that, yes.
I'm sure you have to keep so many years of
Yes.
retention.
Sherry, you second right here. Alden?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Max?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
And I thank you.
But you will.
Okay, moving on. Street and Alley Committee, review a committee meeting held on June 23rd, 22, and review engineers' estimates for tilling, reshaping, chip, resealing, wagon road, and business alleys. Eric?
Yes, Justin, Tony, and I met on the 23rd. Some of our colleagues, beyond the businesses and stuff, because we haven't been down the and really bad shape. So we feel it's a liability and safety issue for the village, and the utility department delivery trucks need to be able to safely access these alleys. So, and we do gain, looking at the business alleys, the village does gain tax revenue from those properties, and we feel it's in our best interest to keep them maintained. So, we would recommend to have them ground and bill of oil chip on the north side of Cumberland Street from Delaware to Franklin, and south side of Cumberland Street, half a block Franklin and Mill in Kentucky, and half a block from Delaware to Broadway. And Mike got a quote for us from John Stone to add that into.
He's roughly $14,000. And I think wagon road is $12,000.
It's gotta be done.
So I guess we just need to get
total of 14,000.
Total of 26.
I'll make a motion that we make this work on the alleys behind the businesses and Wagon Road in the amount of $26,000.
I'll second it.
And before we go any further, so I spoke with John Stone. Next month we'll have to, redo the, MFT resolution, which is not a big deal, but he will get a hold of Larry Harmon to, for him to plan on doing this when he comes in to, do the maintenance on the north side here in the next few weeks. Alleen?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Max?
Yes.
Sherry? Justin?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay, now, we're gonna add this to the street and alley improvements every year. This just a one-time situation. Well, I would think, yeah. Been that way for 40 years.
We can put them whenever we do the rotation, though, like. you know,
Right, yeah.
North side, east, and west, we do the houses.
Exactly, yeah.
That'd be my recommendation.
Yeah.
Okay, review and discussion and consideration of a motion for concrete repair work to be done by Houston Concrete. They're on Missouri Street, Cincinnati Street, they hit the sewer lines, and the company tore up the sidewalks. Jill's gonna bill this company $6,968 for damages. Then we're gonna lay a new sidewalk. Is that correct, Jill?
I'm going to turn the bill over to them and request for them to make payment as soon as possible, let them know, you know.
Just on the one person I had talked to, I can't remember who it was, check was cut almost immediately when we made a,
Yes,
full charge our service.
they, two people, yeah, two, went through me, and they were both reimbursed. Alleen has been reimbursed, and then I had one, brought into me last week, and I sent it, forwarded it on to Connexus, and hopefully they'll hear something before too long.
I think they're pretty good at paying their damages.
Better than they are at the interview.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. They're really good at damaging, aren't they?
So we need a motion on that?
Yeah, let's just go.
We need a motion.
I'll make a motion, to approve the replacement of sidewalk in Missouri Street and Cincinnati Street in the amount of $6,968 due to the damage done by Nexus.
I'll second that motion.
Alleen?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Max?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay, then we got a replacement of curb with additional concrete pads on the fire hydrant in Kentucky Street in the amount of $3,092. We had to replace a fire hydrant there and had to tear out the sidewalk and curbing and all that.
But then what about the concrete pads? What's that?
It's like an extra sidewalk with the fire department, I'm walking around in mud.
Oh, okay,
Like training and stuff, we use that training, that fire hydrant for the training,
gotcha.
instead of putting dirt back in there. It'd probably be better to concrete.
Okay.
I'll make that motion to replace the curb with additional concrete pads, 11th Street, in the amount of $3,092.
Ellen,
Yes.
April,
Yes.
Max,
Yes.
Sherry, Justin,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I need a motion to go enter into executive session to discuss personnel, employment, personnel, performance, employees of the body, public body, section 2C1, and semi-annual review, closed meeting sessions.
Make the motion to enter executive session.
Ellen,
Yes.
April,
Yes.
Max,
Yes.
Sherry, Justin.
Right in front of me.
Oh, that was loud. Okay, so we're gonna do roll call, Tom?
Here.
Ally? Here. April?
Here.
Here. Sherry?
Sherry.
Justin?
Well, she is, but go back.
Thank you.
Okay, no action was taken in executive session. Next on the agenda, we're gonna table it, consideration of motion to hire a superintendent. That is tabled as of right now. Consider a motion to approve resolution relating.
Wait a minute.
Well,
You skipped.
oh, I missed that, didn't I?
Eight.
Whoop.
You gotta go back to.
Go backwards.
Back to 8.
Probationary period. Consideration of motion to increase the hourly wage of Robin Edwards from 17 to 17.25. I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. Who'd you get, Jill? Justin.
Tony and Justin.
Yeah.
I'll keep my mouth shut on the next
No,
one.
you're good.
Ally?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Max?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, consider a motion to increase hourly wage of Josh Brandenburg from $18 an hour to $19 an
I'll
hour.
make that.
I'll second it.
I stay quiet. I need my words.
Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I just need to go home. Start with tomorrow. He's making fun of me. I'm moving her twice.
Okay, I'm sorry. You? Sherry. Sherry? Alright. Too much going on mine right now. Ally?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Max?
Yes.
Sherry? Justin?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay, number 9, Personnel Committee Review Meeting held on June 30th, 2022. Tony?
We met, reviewed all the applications we had on file at that time, and we sent, received 2 others, and so we, went off after recommendation this time.
Okay. So consideration motion to hire, we tabled that. Consider a motion to approve resolution relating to the semi-annual review closed session minutes.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that,
Somebody gonna make a motion?
I'll make that motion, Tom. The village board has done the semi-annual review and has found that the following executive meeting minutes from May 25th, 2021, June 7th, 2021, that was a committee meeting, June 7th, 2021, July 12th, 2021, September 13th, 2021, November 17th, 2021, December 6th, 2021, December 8th, 2021, a committee meeting, January 10th, 2022, January 14th, 2022, a committee meeting, January 19th, 2022, and May 16th, 2022, committee meeting. no longer need to remain confidential and are available for public inspection. Further, there is still a need for confidentiality for the other executive meeting minutes.
I'll second that.
Tony's who I've heard first. Ally?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Max?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Justin?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Very nice. Okay, consideration of a motion to approve destruction of certain village closed session tapes. Just need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Ally?
Yes.
April?
Yes.
Max?
Yes.
Sherry? Justin?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Okay, discussion concerning amending the Village of Greenup liquor license and control ordinance, number 1, number 2, and no amending, or no amending, yeah.
Personally, I think we should just leave that one alone. I mean, I don't think that we've had any public issues and stuff.
I don't think we have we?
So, no.
The reason why this was brought to our attention is because a few years ago, the village agreement installed some signs at the board's wishes that said that that liquor establishments must have a designated area and that patrons need to stay in that. Well, our ordinance does not state that. So we need to put something in there if we're going to make these liquor establishments comply to that designated area.
The liquor ordinance does have it only on special
On
permits.
special permits.
I thought I read it as it has to have a designated area.
On a special permit, but since when this came in effect and we put their signs up, it was, a lot had to do with, the festival and other, with the beer gardens, so they couldn't walk out of the downtown, any of those establishments are walking down the street. So that's why we put the signs up saying they have to stay in that designated area with an open, container.
Because right now, it doesn't just state street, alley, or sidewalk. Oh, it does not say that, okay, then I misunderstood that, okay.
So
There's absolutely nothing in
for
there.
everybody.
There's
to
nothing
be-
at all?
Everybody went ahead and put up these fences and stuff because we put the signs up, but it wasn't in our ordinance, so they could actually just take it down and make it be free range.
And one of the establishments questioned it, they brought it to my attention and said, because why do we have to, because we put that sign in front of their establishment, and they said, why? Because they went through the ordinance and it's not there. So, either we put it in the ordinance or we take down the signs. And then if you take down the signs, then next thing you know, you've got everybody walking all over town carrying open alcohol.
I do think that if, I know one of the options that was discussed was opaque fencing. And I think that could be pretty costly to a business, that's already doing business. And I think there could be a more affordable way of designating an area. And I think that would be where I would be at. I wouldn't want to.
Because if you're not serving outside, then you don't have to have no.
Right.
And they could just put up a fence.
Right.
For a designation for them to go out and drink. And that is number one.
And most of the time, it's smoking.
Yeah.
Like, when I go outside, if I have a beer and I smoke, so, I think that's a lot of it.
So the one that I have labeled number one, that takes care of that, of just
Our sign.
of the sign, takes care of the sign. So they have to put up some kind of fencing, whether it's,
It's not designed, it's not like it has to be a.
No, it does not.
thing.
now number two does. The ordinance that I have labeled number two does. For everybody to have a
So the-
fence that you cannot
The
see.
first one, just any kind of,
Yes.
just something good, just a barrier.
Yes.
Okay.
Because otherwise you got, monitors.
I thought it already said that.
No,
I thought it already said that.
And everyone pretty much has a fence now, right?
pretty well.
Okay.
So,
But I mean, wording it like that, like, certain places can still have a place out front. and be able to sit out there.
so number one,
That's what I would I would make a motion, that we would add the first option and requirements of fencing designation for outside alcohol consumption for Class C, F, I, and J liquor license holders.
I'll second that.
Eileen,
Yes.
April,
Yes.
Max,
Yes.
Sherry, Justin,
Yes.
Tony.
Yes.
I was trying on those two.
Okay, did our attorney have any more?
No, he's been on vacation,
I thought he was.
out of the state, so, no. Let me look real quick, I don't think the IML is putting on a special member benefit offer. It's kind of a, like a learning exhibit, isn't that like in Chicago? And, they're inviting anybody who would be interested in attending, and that's all I've got.
I love my love for you.
Real quick, like, I want to thank everybody for dealing with us in our remodeling of everything. Hopefully next month, we will be back into the council room for good.
I like this room.
Sure you do.
I think Tom particularly likes the sunlight.
Yeah.
I also want to thank Michael and Hunter and all the guys who have come in and who have helped us move things. And I'm not just talking about, little things, they helped us move big desks, they helped us move out the township office. We've had some electrical outlets changed, just everything, and I want to thank Michael and his guys for that. I'm done.
Is that what we got?
Oh, and I want to thank Kay too, because she gets in the middle of it all.
She about broke her foot
Yeah,
today.
You need a walking cast, or you can be up there?
It'll be fine.
Okay,
I'm blaming it on Hunter is who I'm blaming it on.
do you have anything, Kay?
Yes, Donna Blair from the National Road Place called the other day. They're gonna be having a meeting on July 27th. It's on a Wednesday at 6:30 PM in Vandalia. She would like a trustee or a mayor to come and represent Greenup to discuss events that is happening in the year, put in the National Road Association, website, flyers, Facebook, etc. I do have her contact information if anybody would like that.
Where's this at?
In Vandalia.
Ben did it? I'll get that from you. Is that all you got?
Yes, yes.
Michael?
How these fire hydrants in?
Oh, wow.
Couldn't hear about
Woo,
it.
woo!
Ethan?
I've got nothing.
Patty didn't have nothing, she left. Okay, Max, you got anything?
No.
April?
I thank all the employees for the good job they're doing.
Ali?
I wanna thank everybody who came and gave their input on the, property out east, the EMTs.
Yes.
We need that kind of, input from our citizens.
Right. Tony?
Yeah, I just like to say again, city boys have really stepped up, getting things done, all the water leaks we've had, and the boring that's going on, I mean, we're on every dime that's got.
So you got?
Like, thank him, and, yeah, the ambulance service is a very critical part of this building. You know, it's made money over the years, well, guess what? That was a term. And I don't think taxpayers will go on tax increase. So, maximum levy allowable, we've still gonna be 6 figures short.
Well, you still got the issue where you're trying to boil it.
Well, you're gonna, then we'll be like a Toledo, and that's the number one ambulance right now. I mean, it's a shame what's going on. But you got some that are laying back, so.
Is that all you got, Tim? Justin?
Yeah, I wanna kind of echo what Aline said, especially about the folks from the subdivision on the east end of town. And again, time that citizens have a concern, the best way to voice that concern is right here at the meeting. Nobody's gonna tell your story better than you can, and nobody's gonna care as much about your issue as you do. So I think that it's important for people to be engaged, and I appreciate everybody taking the time to do that. I also want to thank the utility guys for getting down and fixing the power line issue down by my house, and also thank Patty and the EMTs for everything that they have done, and hopefully we can find them some help.
Is that all you got?
That's all I got.
Sherry?
Same echo, appreciate the citizens' input tonight, and all of our employees for doing a great job.
Okay. All I've got is, everybody noticed the IGA, the landscaping they did? Wonderful. Ron Blake, across the street here, makes the downtown look much better. And they did all at their own expense. And does anybody know the little girl who painted the eagle?
Scales.
She did a wonderful job.
She just painted and she was tired of it.
Yes.
Good for her.
Just be spruced up for her work.
Now, is that Linda's granddaughter?
Yes.
Well, I just wanna say she did a wonderful job.
Yes, thank you very much.
And I've noticed around town, we've had some home improvements. Carol Eubank's one of them. She put in a new driveway, and it's just beautiful down there. So I wanna thank all them people. I wanna thank the utility department, they're doing a great job. The girls in the office, wonderful. That's all I've got. Tony, do you have something else?
We didn't bring this up for a while. I think we need to restripe our parking areas up and down Main Street and come behind Kent. A lot of them's been rubbed off, and I think there's,
Yeah, I'd like to find out when they're gonna redo Main Street.
I don't think that's gonna have any time soon.
No.
Good one, Dirk.
I see they're doing 130.
That's something we need to look into.
Right.
It's supposed to don't get these stripes.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
Make.
That was the quickest one.
Ethan?
Ali? Yes. April?
Yes.
Matt?